Ever wondered which games are considered masterpieces by the gaming community? Today, I'm showcasing 15 perfectly crafted games that have been treasured by many. If you're searching for games that offer impeccable design, gripping stories, and endless enjoyment, you won't want to miss this. Watch until the end to find out which games have earned their place as all-time favorites. So, hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get started. Kicking off this list, we have Playdead's Inside. Released in 2016, this gem has quickly become a beloved favorite among gamers. This 2D puzzle platformer builds on the brilliance of Limbo, though it's not a direct sequel. With the same hauntingly beautiful graphics and style, Inside offers a gripping experience that lasts around 3 to 4 hours. Now, you might think that's a bit short, but believe me when I say this, the story it tells is absolutely worth every minute. You play as a red-shirted boy navigating a dark, intense world filled with tricky puzzles. As you escape, you'll face lethal humans, dogs, and even eerie merpeople, all eager to thwart your progress. The gameplay is simple yet challenging, with secrets scattered throughout and a hidden ending to discover. And there's this unique checkpoint system, which is pretty cool. It lets you go back to previous areas to find collectibles and shows you how many checkpoints are left, which is super handy. Survive all the environmental puzzles, and you're rewarded with one of the most bizarre and interesting endings in video game history. Inside is a must-try for anyone who loves a good puzzle and an even better story. Next on the list is Final Fantasy VII. The Final Fantasy franchise is one of the most popular in gaming history, and when you ask true fans which game stands out, many will point to Final Fantasy VII. I'm talking about the original game, not the remake. Though the remake is fantastic, it leans more towards action RPG, whereas the original is a traditional turn-based JRPG. Playing the original first really gives you a deeper appreciation for how they transformed the world in the remake. The gameplay has aged quite well, with the Materia Junction system adding a layer of creativity to the standard combat. Plus, there are loads of minigames, each with unique mechanics. These range from fun and silly to challenging and essential for unlocking powerful items and abilities. The graphics, on the other hand, haven't aged as gracefully. They might look a bit goofy now, but back when it was released, this game was groundbreaking. The 3D world was the largest and most immersive of its time, and it was absolutely stunning back then. Despite the dated visuals, the game's rich story, memorable characters, and innovative mechanics make it a timeless classic. Final Fantasy VII is a must-play for anyone wanting to experience a cornerstone of gaming history. Next up is Cuphead. If you grew up loving 1930s cartoons, the style of Cuphead will feel delightfully familiar. The developers drew inspiration from these classic visuals, creating a game that both reminisces the past and delivers loads of fun. Cuphead's gameplay is challenging, but oh so rewarding. You can play as either Cuphead or Mugman in this tough 2D landscape, battling enemies and tackling fierce bosses. It's a blast, but be warned, its difficulty has led some players to throw in the towel. But if you're a gamer who thrives on challenges, Cuphead will be right up your alley. Once you get the hang of it, the game offers an exhilarating experience, rewarding those who adapt and learn. The hand-drawn art style and jazzy soundtrack perfectly complement every movement and battle to create an immersive experience. You can enjoy Cuphead solo or team up in co-op mode to double the fun. If you're feeling a bit burnt out by the sameness of modern games, Cuphead's unique charm and tough gameplay are a refreshing change. This is one I'd highly recommend for anyone looking for something different and truly engaging. Up next is the Ori franchise. If you're a fan of visually stunning and emotionally driven games, the Ori series is an absolute must-play. The franchise includes Ori and the Blind Forest and its sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Both games offer a mesmerizing blend of beautiful hand-painted artwork, meticulously animated character performances, and a fully orchestrated score. In these games, you play as Ori, a small guardian spirit, navigating through a vast and vibrant forest full of dangerous creatures and intricate puzzles. The gameplay is a perfect mix of platforming and exploration, with a combat system that is both fluid and challenging. One thing that really stands out is the emotional storytelling. The narrative is heart-wrenching and deeply moving, drawing you into Ori's world and making you care about the characters and their journey. The platforming challenges are tough but fair, rewarding precision and skill. The sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, builds upon the original with even more polished mechanics and an expanded world to explore. The series' art style and music are absolutely breathtaking, creating an immersive experience that's hard to forget. I know this is kind of a popular game among gamers, but if you haven't tried it yet, maybe this video is the sign for you to give it a shot. Up next, we have Hades. If you're a fan of roguelikes, this one is a real treat. Similar to Returnal, Hades takes you through randomly generated levels with equally random rewards. When you die, you lose most things, but you keep gems and other progression items, which keeps the game feeling fair and rewarding. One of the standout aspects of Hades is how it weaves story into the gameplay that offers a narrative that unfolds uniquely with each death. The gameplay is incredibly fluid, handling chaotic situations smoothly without becoming clunky or frustrating. As with many roguelikes, Hades can be a play until you get sick of it type of game, but it takes much longer to hit that threshold because of its rich variety and content. The story is expansive and engaging, especially for this genre. Plus, each character has a distinctive and creative design with excellent voice acting and interactions that add depth. The combat is solid, maybe not revolutionary, but definitely satisfying. Apart from these, the overall aesthetic quality of Hades is truly stunning. The replayability in Hades is fantastic, thanks to the different weapon types and the variety of upgrades you can find during runs. Plus, given that it smoothly runs across all platforms, there's actually no reason for you not to try this game. Next up, we have Titanfall 2. Compared to its predecessor, this sequel feels faster and more refined. While the increased pace might be challenging for some, the game mechanics have been revised and enhanced. One major highlight of the game is the single-player campaign. Though it's on the shorter side, it's incredibly satisfying and does an excellent job of introducing new players to the series while offering veterans a fresh, exciting experience. Despite being released in 2016, Titanfall 2 has maintained a loyal fan base, which isn't surprising given the full packed action it delivers. The single-player campaign is just the beginning because the game truly shines in its multiplayer mode, where the fast-paced, first-person action reaches new heights. With more Titans, deadlier pilot abilities, and a slew of other features, the multiplayer experience is both intense and rewarding. Another standout aspect of Titanfall 2 is its fluid movement system. Wall running, double jumping, and the seamless integration of pilots and Titans make every match a dynamic and exhilarating experience. The variety of Titans and pilot abilities also add depth to the gameplay for a more strategic approach. The game's maps are well designed that complement the movement mechanics and ensure that each match is unique and engaging. It is also worth noting that the visuals and sound design are top-notch. The attention to detail in both the environments and character designs will surely enhance your overall gaming experience.
Sorry, pilot, it's all over for you.
Up next is the PlayStation exclusive, Shadow of the Colossus remake. It's no surprise that this game remains a beloved treasure in the action-adventure genre. The original, released in 2005, was a masterpiece, and the remake has captured fans' hearts all over again. Available on both PS4 and PS5, the remake offers a smoother gaming experience with enhanced visuals and performance. The remake doesn't just stop at being visually stunning, as it introduces new features that breathe fresh life into the classic. One of the most exciting additions is the expanded collectibles. Now, players can hunt for hidden items that weren't in the original. Another cool feature is the inclusion of new and interesting trophies. These trophies not only add to the game's replayability, but also encourage players to attempt unique challenges and feats. The improved controls and camera system make the experience much more enjoyable and accessible, especially for newcomers. And the seamless transition between cutscenes and gameplay immerses you deeper into the story that makes Wander's journey feel more epic and emotionally engaging. It is also worth noting that the remake comes with photo mode that lets you capture breathtaking moments. You can pause the game and frame your perfect shot, complete with various filters and settings to make your snapshots truly stunning. If you're hesitant to grab this game before, then getting this right now is a good choice, especially if you're on a PS5, as the developer already addressed the texture issues and other bugs in the game. Next, we have Divinity Original Sin 2. Oh man, if you're into RPGs, this game is an absolute gem. Released by Larian Studios, this game sets a new standard for the genre, which is not surprising why the new Baldur's Gate 3 was a massive success. You start by creating your own character, picking from various races and classes, each with unique abilities and backstories. The storytelling is top-notch, filled with twists, humor, and moments that tug at your heartstrings. The voice acting adds depth to the characters. I remember making a gut-wrenching decision about a village's fate. It was one of those gaming moments that stick with you. The world of Rivellon is bursting with life. Every NPC has something interesting to say, and the world is full of hidden secrets. Similar to Baldur's Gate 3, this game features turn-based combat, which is challenging and immensely satisfying. You can use the environment creatively, like setting a pool of oil on fire to burn enemies or using water to conduct electricity. Plus, with the multiplayer mode, everything will be a blast to experience. As for the graphics, it's just gorgeous, with detailed environments and spell effects creating a visually stunning experience. Divinity Original Sin 2 is one of those games where you can lose yourself for hours. If you're looking for an RPG offering depth, challenge, and fun, give this one a go. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Up next is Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. Released in 2001, it's one of those games that you just can't forget once you've played it. Hideo Kojima really outdid himself with this sequel, bringing in a mix of deep storytelling, stealth gameplay, and a bit of that trademark Kojima craziness. From the moment you step into the shoes of Solid Snake on the tanker, the atmosphere pulls you in. The graphics were mind-blowing for its time, and even today, there's something about the design that feels timeless. Then there's Raiden, the surprise protagonist. I know some fans were skeptical at first, but I found his character arc fascinating. It was a bold move by Kojima to switch things up, and it paid off by adding a fresh perspective to the Metal Gear saga. The gameplay is where this game shines. The stealth mechanics are top-notch, offering multiple ways to tackle each situation. I loved experimenting with different strategies, and the AI was impressively responsive that makes every encounter feel dynamic and unpredictable. The soundtrack is another highlight, as it perfectly complements the game's tense and dramatic moments. Metal Gear Solid 2 is not just a game, it's a solid experience, especially if you're a fan of the Metal Gear series. Next up is GTA San Andreas. If you've never experienced the chaos and fun of San Andreas, then you should definitely try it before jumping into the upcoming GTA 6. In the game, you play as CJ, a guy returning to his old neighborhood to uncover the truth behind his mother's murder while trying to restore his family's lost glory. The freedom in this game is unparalleled during its time. One moment, you're racing through the streets in a stolen sports car. The next, you're skydiving from a plane. The map is small compared to the maps that we have right now in other GTA games, but it has cities, deserts, forests, and mountains, and each area feels alive with unique NPCs and activities. I remember spending hours just exploring and causing mayhem. The story is fantastic, filled with memorable characters like Big Smoke and Ryder. The missions are diverse, ranging from high-stakes heists to hilarious side quests. And who can forget the cheat codes? Do you still remember the Hesoyam code and other cheats that you can use to have fun in the game? This game is a nostalgia trip, especially if you were able to play the game during its time.
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
Next on the list is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. If you're up for a challenge, this one's a must-play. From Software, the creators of Dark Souls, bring something new to the table. Sekiro is an intense, unforgiving game that rewards precision and patience. You play as Wolf, a shinobi on a quest for revenge and redemption in a beautifully rendered version of Sengoku-era Japan. The world is stunning, with detailed environments ranging from hauntingly serene temples to snow-covered mountain fortresses. The game's atmosphere is so immersive, I often found myself stopping to admire the scenery, even as I prepared for the next brutal battle. Combat in Sekiro is a dance of death. Unlike Dark Souls, it's not about dodging, but mastering the art of parrying and timing. The feeling you get when you perfectly deflect a flurry of enemy attacks and strike back is exhilarating. Boss fights are epic and intense, each requiring a unique strategy to overcome. As one of the players who was able to beat Ishin, the sense of accomplishment after defeating a tough boss is unmatched. The story is engaging and told through interactions and environmental storytelling. It's deep and layered, revealing more with each playthrough. The stealth mechanics add a nice touch that allows you to approach situations with a bit more strategy. Sekiro is tough, no doubt about it, but it's also fair. Every defeat is a lesson, and every victory feels hard-earned. Up next is Outer Wilds. This game is an absolute gem for anyone who loves exploration and mystery. You play as an astronaut in a solar system that's stuck in a time loop, and it's your job to uncover the secrets of an ancient civilization before the sun goes supernova. The beauty of Outer Wilds is in its open-ended exploration. Each planet has its own unique characteristics and secrets. From the crumbling cliffs of Brittle Hollow to the eerie, fog-filled depths of Dark Bramble, every location feels like a new adventure. The time loop mechanic adds a sense of urgency and excitement. You have 22 minutes to explore before everything resets, which means every second counts. It can be a little stressful at first, but it's incredibly rewarding as you piece together the narrative. The game's non-linear storytelling is a masterclass in design, letting you uncover bits of lore and clues at your own pace. Outer Wilds is a game that stays with you. Its blend of exploration, puzzle solving, and storytelling creates an unforgettable experience for almost every player who tried this game. Next on the list is the Assassin's Creed from 2007. This is where it all began. The game that started one of the biggest franchises in gaming. You play as Altair, a skilled assassin during the Third Crusade, navigating a beautifully recreated medieval world. The first thing that grabs you is the setting. The cities of Jerusalem, Acre, and Damascus are bustling with life, filled with intricate details and stunning architecture. Climbing to the top of a viewpoint and seeing the city sprawled out below you is breathtaking. I remember my first leap of faith and the thrill of diving into a haystack from dizzying heights. The gameplay introduces the iconic parkour system and stealth mechanics. Sneaking up on targets, blending with the crowd, and executing precise assassinations feels incredibly satisfying. The combat, though simpler than later games, still has that fluid, responsive feel. The story's intriguing, weaving historical events with a fictional conspiracy. The modern-day segments with Desmond Miles add an extra layer of mystery. It's a bit clunky in parts, but the narrative hooks you in. Assassin's Creed lays the groundwork for a series that would evolve in amazing ways. It might feel a bit dated now, but it's still a fantastic journey through history with all the hallmarks that made the series famous. And while you're waiting for the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows, going back to where it all began is a good choice. Next on the list is Mafia 2. This one is said to be the most popular game among the 3 installments. Set in the 1940s and 50s, you will be playing as Vito Scaletta, a World War II veteran who gets entangled in the criminal underworld of Empire Bay. The story of Mafia 2 is kind of gripping, filled with twists, betrayals, and intense moments. Vito's journey from a small-time crook to a made man is compelling, and the voice acting brings life to the character. The attention to detail in Mafia 2 is phenomenal. The city feels alive, with its vintage cars, period music, and changing seasons. Driving through the snowy streets while Dean Martin plays on the radio is pure magic. The game's atmosphere perfectly captures the era that makes you feel like you're in a classic gangster movie. The gameplay combines driving, shooting, and hand-to-hand combat, along with its intense and dramatic missions. The cover-based shooting mechanics are solid, and the car chases are thrilling. There's also a great mix of action and slower, more narrative-driven moments. Mafia 2 may not be as expansive as some open-world games, but its focus on storytelling and atmosphere makes it a standout title. If you haven't played the original game yet, I recommend getting the definitive edition for enhanced visual graphics. And finally, to complete our list, we have Half-Life 2. This game is often hailed as one of the greatest of all time, and for good reason. Unlike any other FPS out there, Half-Life 2 revolutionized the genre with its physics-based gameplay, storytelling, and immersive world. You play as Gordon Freeman, a scientist thrust into a dystopian world ruled by the oppressive Combine. The opening sequence on the train sets the tone perfectly, and from there, you're plunged into a world filled with danger and intrigue. The story is told through the environment and interactions with other characters. This immersive approach draws you into the narrative, making you feel like an active participant in Gordon's journey. Alex Vance, your companion, is particularly memorable, with her strong personality and dynamic role in the story. The gameplay is groundbreaking as it uses Source Engine's physics. As for the combat, it is quite intense, with smart AI and varied enemy types keeping you on your toes, and with the clever puzzles, you are often required to think outside the box. Just like most gamers out there who adore this game, I also consider Half-Life 2 as a masterpiece. So, there you have it. I know there are still lots of games out there that are considered masterpieces by many gamers. If you have a game that you think deserves to be called a masterpiece, let us know in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.